Well, as the sign behind me indicates, we've made it to Alberta, Canada.
This is the Canadian portion of our Alaska adventure, from the border crossing to Dawson Creek, the beginning of the Alaska Highway. Vulcan, Calgary, and the breathtaking Canadian Rockies will be some of the highlights. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah. Good morning, destination Canada. We're gonna cross the border at the Chief Mountain Port of Entry, which is actually inside Glacier Waterton Lakes National Parks. And this is one that was closed for 3 years during the pandemic. In fact, as of this filming, it just opened back up. It should be a scenic one. We're about to turn left onto State Route 17, the Chief Mountain Highway. There's the sign, Port of Chief Mountain, 14 miles. Oh, there it is, Chief Mountain. Very impressive. I was really expecting this stretch of road to be a little more scenic, and it is, don't get me wrong, but perhaps we've been spoiled by everything we've seen so far. Or perhaps we're just nervous about the border crossing, which, why would we be, right? My only apprehension is that I'm towing an RV that is not registered under my name. It's got a dealer plate, so it still belongs to Winnebago, and I'm concerned they might give me a hard time because of that. But no, here's the summary. All they cared about basically was firearms, alcohol, and pot. And apparently alcohol was okay because, as you can see, they let us through. They did ask us some trick questions like what's inside the RV, how we met, and whether it was our first time going to Alaska. Now, greetings from Alberta, everyone! This should be our third Canadian province if you count our 2013 Ontario and Quebec road trip from 10 years ago.
It's a pivotal moment here in our epic road trip. And look at the scenery all around us. This is amazing. This is the Chief Mountain crossing, border crossing, port of entry. And that's Waterton National Park, which is part of, it's contiguous to Glacier National Park. Well, we'll continue north. The sun has come out.
It is now time to switch Starship to the metric system. And I kind of wish we could just change certain things, like just the speed perhaps, but GM didn't give us that option. We're leaving Waterton Lakes National Park, and all of a sudden, it is starting to look like Kansas. And when I say Kansas, it could be Nebraska, North Dakota, pick your Great Plains state. Still, there is something uncanny. Perhaps it is because I know, or the speed limit signs, but you can tell you are no longer in the United States, even though the land and the infrastructure are almost identical. But not quite. Maybe it is painted differently, different color palette, different font on the signs, I don't know. Yeah, I think the grain elevators are a little different. moment of truth. It is time for our first interaction of any kind in Canada, besides the border crossing. Let's do our first fill-up.
Well, here we are, Petro, Canada, our first fill-up in Canada. I'm still trying to figure out liters and kilometers. We're in Vulcan, Canada, by the way. There's something very cool we're gonna see next, right across the street.
But first, we're hungry, and we've heard A&W is totally a thing here. We've been keen to try it. Their burgers are named after family members like Grandpa, Mama Burger, and so on.
Oh, we got some poutine and the Uncle Burger. Well, that was good. I think that was my first root beer, which it's an acquired taste, I'm sure. Now let's go across the street.
Well, of course, we're in Vulcan, Alberta, Canada. And this town has really embraced the Star Trek reference as being the home planet of the most beloved character, Mr. Spock.
What a great publicity stunt the town of Vulcan has made. I'm sure originally it didn't have anything to do with Mr. Spock, but let's see what they have.
There's the holodeck, which is more like a museum, and this reception area, and of course there's a gift shop.
Very interesting place. We decided not to go into the holodeck. What they have is the memorabilia, pictures. They have like a picture of Leonard Nimoy when he came here, Mr. Spock himself. And this is what looks like a crude representation of a shuttlecraft. Let's go see the Enterprise.
There's the starship there, and the flower-looking contraption, maybe solar panels, and the mural with cutouts so you can take a picture.
Okay, let me guess. Mr. Spock, T'Pol, Janeway. Would that be Scotty? That's Uhura, and of course, that's gonna be Kirk. And that's of course Mr. Worf. And that's the Enterprise, the original. Not really. It has a different license plate, whatever you call that, tail number. It's not the NCC 1701. What can I say? Live long and prosper. Let's go. There's a mural, there's a statue of Mr. Spock, and there's a transporter. Let's see if we can see all of them.
Of course, all the street lights are like little enterprises. And here on the right, there's a mural depicting all the Doctors, from the original series until Enterprise, that is. Let's see if we can park and see them up close. Here we are, 1 block away from the mural and the bust of Mr. Spock.
Well, yeah, it's one of those downtowns with all diagonal parking, as you can see. So I parked back there 1 block away. Mr. Spock should be nearby. Well, there he is. Mr. Spock himself. No, wrong hand. No, right hand. Live long and prosper. Here we are.
Now, there's supposed to be a transporter somewhere around here, but I can't find it.
Well, look what we found. A transporter. Beam me up, Scotty. Which is a phrase that was never said in the series, I don't think. And there's Guinan, Picard. Let's check out the mural across the street. And yeah, let's just check out the mural real quick, and then we're going to Calgary. Okay, Trek stop, Doctor's mural. And of course, that will be all the Doctors up to this point in the Star Trek series, right? That would be Dr. Phlox from Enterprise, McCoy from the original series, of course, Dr. Crusher from TNG, the Doctor from Voyager, and Dr. Bashir from DS9. All right, very cool how the town and the county of Vulcan have embraced the Star Trek motif. I mean, even the lamps, even the street lights are like tiny little starships. Kind of reminds me of Roswell, New Mexico, a little bit in that sense. You know, you have the Star Trek insignia on the sidewalks and on the crosswalks too.
Yeah, there are Star Trek references everywhere. This town definitely worth a quick stop if you are a Star Trek fan. Now, let's continue towards Calgary. There's a harvest host near downtown. We're going to meet up with some viewers and then we'll try to explore the city a little bit. And if we like what we see, we might come back on the return trip from Alaska. Here we get a glimpse of the Canadian Rockies to the west. Although, I'm sad to say, it is a little smoky from all the wildfires. And there it is, Calgary in the distance. Very good looking skyline. The plan is to stay at a harvest host very close to downtown so we can potentially unhitch or at the very least take an Uber to where we want to go. And here it is, Skunk Works Distillery. But there is only one hiccup in an otherwise well-conceived plan. The distillery doesn't open until later this afternoon and there is no clear RV parking area and they are not answering the phone. So after much deliberation and risking a no-show penalty, we are improvising a plan B. There's a shopping mall south of town that allows overnight parking, so that's where we're going. This is it, the South Center Mall. Ooh, that's one tight turn. I'm glad we're short. Alright, this seems to be the RV section.
Well, we ended up at South Center Mall here. They have free RV parking. You just have to register with the client services. It seems pretty nice. We are kind of under the shade of these trees, so it's not gonna. It's hot today. It's unusually hot, but I think we're gonna be fine. But the point here is, harvest hosts, when it works, it's great, but it doesn't always work, and I think that's something that needs to be pointed out. And in this case, well, you saw that place, it was just a street in a semi-industrial area, and there was no communication, you know, like, and well, we have to arrive after 6 in this case. I don't know, not what I was expecting. I was really looking forward to patronizing the business and getting some moonshine, but sometimes it doesn't work, and if they give me a strike for not showing up, I showed up. It's all right. Now let's see if we can explore a little bit of Calgary here, because tomorrow we're going to the Canadian Rockies.
After an early afternoon meetup with Kiara and her family, we've decided to take an Uber downtown. That way we don't have to deal with traffic, parking, all that in a new city. We really don't know what to expect. Ooh, nice architecture. The idea was to go to Calgary Tower first, but I think we're going to see if we can get something to eat instead.
Well, we decided to come by downtown, and yeah, that's the Calgary Tower. We're gonna walk around a little bit. We don't have a whole lot of time. We have like 2 hours of daylight left, but we're gonna make the best of it and maybe get something to eat. Oh, we have some street art here.
The tall building is called The Bow and is one of the most iconic here in the city. And here's the light rail transit system called C-Train. This is the heart of downtown. Here, by The Bow, we encounter this peculiar wireframe sculpture of a young girl's head called Wonderland, made by none other than Spanish sculptor Jaume Plensa. It is meant to represent the dreams of the young people of Alberta. We saw a similar style sculpture also made by Plensa at Papa John's Park in Des Moines. Very, very cool. Let's get inside the head.
Very impressive sculpture, very impressive building. I really wish we had time to explore more, but we'll probably pass through here on the way back from Alaska. So we might allocate a day or two. You know, I didn't think Calgary was gonna be this nice.
Stephen Avenue here seems to be happening.
Very lively, very lively. I'm trying to think. There's a pub. We have to figure out somewhere to eat.
Here we have an old fire engine, and as you can see, there are just too many choices.
Well, apparently it is patio season. Everybody is out and about enjoying the great weather. Must be art.
We ended up at this place called The Social. Good barbecue.
Brisket. Well, that was pretty good barbecue. We ordered way too much food, but great ambience, great people watching here on this street on Stephen Avenue here in Calgary. Now we're gonna get an Uber back to the RV.
Here's our ride. Well, this was certainly just a taste of what Calgary has to offer. A taste. An appetizer that left us with a desire to try the entree. What a great, vibrant, and diverse city. At least what we saw.
Our first day in Canada is coming to a close. It's been a good day, but I'm tired. We're tired. I mean, it's first even though the border crossing was virtually uneventful and very easy, it's still stressful. You know, you still get a little nervous. You know, you don't know what they're gonna ask you for and whatnot, or if they're gonna take your wine. Then we went to visit a very special viewer here in Calgary, and then we went, downtown, which was I'm so pleasantly surprised by Calgary. Vibrant, super diverse city. Now this is gonna be home for the night, and tomorrow the journey continues towards Banff, Lake Louise, Jasper, Grand Prairie, Dawson Creek, and the rest is Alaska highway history. Let's get a good night's sleep, and tomorrow the journey continues going north. The journey to Alaska. Reheating leftovers. Well, this ended up being very convenient, so thank you South Center Mall here for letting RVers spend the night. Now we're gonna go to Safeway, which is right there next door, to get some groceries, because as we go north, it's gonna start getting more and more remote, and I'm sure the Calgary Safeway here has everything. So let's do that.
Today we're going to Banff National Park, but first, let's drive by downtown with a trailer in tow, because that's how we do it. Trust me, there's a method to our madness. We do have a plan. Here we are, descending onto downtown Calgary once again. We're just crossing through though. Our next point of interest is actually on the other side of the Bow River. So many parts of downtown and the city in general that we didn't get to explore. Let me tell you, we must return for sure. Now passing by Olympic Plaza. According to what I read, in winter they converted into an ice skating rink. It is not often that we get to drive in a big city, and we've been in nature for a couple of weeks now, so it is a welcome change. If only for a little bit. In fact, I'm already itching to get to the mountains. But first, we're going to that spot I mentioned, where supposedly you get a great panoramic view of the Calgary skyline. Here on the left, we have an old clock tower, dwarfed by all the skyscrapers surrounding it. Behind it, Harmony Park, and this must be Chinatown. Oh yeah, this is gonna be great.
Well, I was able to park right here for a few minutes because, man, the things that I do to get the shot. This is Crescent Heights, I believe. And this is one of the spots where you get some of the best views of downtown Calgary. Behind us here. It's a lovely city. We shall return soon.
I kind of like the look of all these rather modest residences.
Well, timing is everything, right? And turns out today is very smoky. We have some fires. We should be seeing mountains in front of us. They're not there.
We start seeing some foothills through the haze, but not the towering peaks I was expecting. As we get closer, visibility starts getting a little better, so there's hope. Besides, we're not really gonna do anything until tomorrow. In this area, you'll notice the road is fenced off to prevent wildlife from running into traffic, and they have these cool looking overpasses for wildlife to cross. Here, we're approaching one of those under construction. Now we're approaching the Lac des Arcs viewpoint, so let's take a quick break. so smoky. We are entering Banff National Park, and Parks Canada charges by the day and by the person, so $10.50 per day per person is going to be $42 for us. Or we could get a Discovery Pass, which is $72.25 for the whole year, but since this is probably the only park we're going to visit, we'll stick with the daily fee. Here's the exit to the town of Banff, which we'll visit tomorrow. Here we have one of those wildlife overpasses. Here we are, arriving at Lake Louise in Alberta. It is a little smoky, but hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. One can only hope, right? We're staying at the Parks Canada campground here, which has two sections. One for tents, pop-ups and other soft-sided vehicles, surrounded by electric fence. And another one for hard-sided RVs, like us. And the reason for that is we are in bear country here, and they make sure you're aware of that. It is a pretty large campground, only electric at the site, but there's a potable water and dump station. All sites are double, and I think this is ours, but I think it would be better if we come in from the other side. So our door faces our picnic table. Yep, this is it. We are so excited to be here. We've been hearing about Banff National Park for such a long time. This, by the way, the Bow River, the same one we saw in Calgary. This very swift current. It's beautiful out here. Well, good morning, check it out. It looks like the smoke has cleared out a little bit. And today we're taking the shuttle to Lake Louise and Moraine Lake. But first we have to take another shuttle to the park and ride. So that's where we're going next, first. Whew, good morning. It's cloudy, but at least it looks like the smoke is better. All right, every 30 minutes, and this is where we're going. Executive shuttle, there we go. Okay, here we are. Let's check in. Here we are at the park and ride, and there's a ski lift. Cool. I believe this is our ride. We're going to do Lake Louise first, and hopefully the sun will come out at some point. This is so nice. Luxury accommodations for sure. One day perhaps. It must be that way. And this is our first look at Lake Louise here. The weather, not perfect, but it could be far worse. At least it is, not raining, or the smoke has cleared out a little bit, and the sun even wants to come out, so I'm not complaining. We're gonna do just like a trail, an easy path that goes around the lake, and that's what we're gonna do first. Can I tell you, that's that iconic view. And as I was mentioning, the weather could be better, but it could also be worse. So, the sun is actually even trying to come out there.
So we're gonna, there's a trail that goes kind of around the lake this way, and then we're gonna go to Moraine Lake. And back here, well, I don't think we can go in, but that's the Chateau Lake Louise. Actually, it says restaurants and shops, so maybe we can.
There it is, the majestic Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise. Originally developed by the Canadian Pacific Railway at the turn of the 20th century, it exudes luxury and opulence with these magnificent views of the lake. The mountain almost looks like a painting. The effect, in part due to the remaining smoke in the air. The water has that milky turquoise tint typical of glacial lakes, which I hear looks much better on a sunny day. More than a hike, it feels like a pleasant stroll along the lakeshore.
Beautiful hike so far.
I love the contrast of the red canoes against the milky water. Looking back, we can already see the chateau on the other side. The sun starting to peek out from behind the clouds. I thought that might be a waterfall, but no, it is just snow. Can't help but think of all the bears and other wildlife hiding behind all that vegetation. Luckily, it is a very well-trafficked trail.
Okay, let's see if we can make it all the way to that beach. And I imagine it would be through here. Because that other trail goes somewhere else. Oh yeah.
Oh, what a view. What a view.
We've made it to the other side of the lake. It's like this beach here and a creek. Well, we can cross the creek somewhere, but over there, let's see if we can get a view of the big mountain on the other side of the lake. We'll see. Now that looks like a difficult climb right up there. All right, let's begin the return trip. Same way we came, all the way back to the chateau. Well, that was a fairly easy stroll. Now we have to go all the way back, and it is a little over a kilometer, I think. The only thing is we forgot to bring water, so we're kind of thirsty at this point. I'm sure we can find something.
I'm glad we came early. It is getting a lot more crowded now.
Well, I guess it was closer than like 2 miles. I guess it was closer to like 2 miles one way. But anyway, very cool hike. I just, the Sunshine State, Florida guy in me wishes that we had a little more sunshine. But I was kind of hoping that those clouds would lift and we would be able to see the top of the mountains. But I mean, it's perfect hiking weather. It's probably like in the high 60s, and we're even breaking a little bit of a sweat here as we walk briskly. Now we're gonna look for a bathroom and we'll continue. Yeah, what a place.
We're taking the shuttle that goes from Lake Louise to Moraine Lake. And while you can technically drive to Lake Louise, Moraine Lake is only accessible by shuttle bus. And here we are, Moraine Lake. Let's see if we can get some water at the lodge.
Cool. Oh, we got some water at the gift shop because we forgot to bring. And now let's see the lake. Let's take that iconic picture.
Actually, this view doesn't really do the lake justice. In order to truly experience it, you have to either do the trail or climb on top of that pile of rocks, as we're about to find out. Actually, I can already tell the color here is going to be a lot more striking. Let's go for a stroll on this trail, which, by the way, doesn't show up on Google Maps.
Well, they have this short trail around the lake. Maybe not around the lake. I have no idea how far it goes, but maybe we can get, views from different angles.
Yeah, that color does not look natural. It is like someone dyed the water with some turquoise pigment. Not only the unique color on the water, but all these magnificent, towering mountains all around us. It is just spectacular.
The sun has come out. Look at the color on that water. That's incredible. Yeah, that's amazing. Everywhere you look, everywhere you stop, it's another beautiful sight.
That's a pretty big chunk of ice up there.
I don't know if the camera can capture the saturation of that blue, but that's incredible. That doesn't look real. We've been so lucky that the sun came out and the smoke cleared. It's turning out to be a great day here at Moraine Lake. Yeah, look at that.
think this is as far as we can go.
And this, where the boardwalk ends, that's the end of the trail. Beautiful cascade there. As far as views go, perhaps a little anticlimactic because the view back there isn't as great as the view to this side, especially since there's still a little bit of smoke on that side. But just seeing this towering mountains here with the glacier, it was worth the walk for sure. Let's come down here and get one more view. Hey, look at that.
Yeah, this place is totally amazing.
I mean, everywhere you look, you have to stop. And the different, hues of turquoise on the water.
And we're back by the lodge. They have canoe rentals and all that good stuff. These rooms actually must have a great view.
Rock pile, I guess in French it's called l'emboulement. Let's check it out. Trail to Consolation Lakes. It's gotta be that way, right? Let's see. Rock pile viewpoints, 100 and 300 meters. And that would be Consolation Lakes. Those stairs. It's a little bit of a climb. But I said 100 meters. We should be like halfway there, right? At least. Look at that mountain back there. That's amazing. This is amazing.
You know what's amazing? The color of the water on Moraine Lake, especially from this vantage point.
That water does not look real. Now we have nowhere to go but down. Vulcan ride. That's it. Alright. No more home parking. Not any parking anymore, actually.
Yeah, you're not allowed to drive your own vehicle up here anymore. And it turns out that there's more people than shuttle buses. Some of these folks are gonna have to wait for the next bus. Well, this may well have been the highlight of our time in Banff National Park so far. Now we're going to get something to eat and then visit the town of Banff, which we drove past yesterday. What a magnificent place this is. And we're back at the park and ride and the shuttle into town.
So we are in the village and there's a restaurant over there, so that's where we're going. There's our shuttle.
It is appropriately named Mountain Restaurant and Javalanche Cafe. Very clever.
It's gonna be lunch with a view.
An ice cold IPA to begin. After all that walking, I think we deserve it. And a good ribeye for good measure.
Actually, that was pretty good. Better than expected. The chimichurri sauce, that's what does the trick. Now we either gonna take the shuttle or walk back to the campground. I don't know yet, whichever comes first. According to this, the campground is that way.
I think we're just gonna walk. It is about 2 kilometers, a few meters here and there, give or take. It is a good 45-minute drive to the town of Banff, but we can't leave the area without seeing it. And since the main purpose of this trip is getting to Alaska, tomorrow we are going to continue the journey north. Let's take a break to admire these beautiful mountains. There's the sign welcoming us to Banff. Let's drive around a little bit and find parking. One thing is for sure, this town is happening! I think we're gonna have to find parking on one of these side streets. This looks good, and we're just a block away from the main drag. This is that iconic picture I've seen online, Banff Avenue with a massive Cascade Mountain in the background.
Everybody got the same idea.
Let's walk around a little bit.
So we came into Banff. It seems to be a very happening town here, lots of people. It's a ski resort, of course. And I had seen pictures, of this mountain in front of me, many times. This is that main street here. It's a shame that we are neither hungry nor thirsty, because there's street side cafes everywhere. So it would have been a good place to have at least a good India Pale Ale. But I paid for 1 hour parking. We'll see. We might, just stop somewhere. Maybe we might extend the parking. I don't know. It's really cool to be here in person, actually. Let's continue walking on this pedestrian street and see something might pique our interest. Must be really good ice cream.
Alright, let's sample the local craft beer here at Banff Avenue Brewing Company. The balcony would have been nicer, but there was no room. And when in Canada, we watch hockey, of course.
Florida Panthers playing.
Yeah, coincidentally, it is our own Florida Panthers playing and losing. It is time to go. That's a long line to take a picture with the sign.
Well, what can I say? Today was a long day, it was a productive day, but overall it was a great day. Tomorrow we're going to Jasper. So I bought this at Safeway. Let's see how they are. Yep. It's almost ready. Grilling under the rain.
It is time to visit the dump station.
Well, good morning. Here we are at the dump station, and yeah, everything is wet. For the first time in a long time, we actually ran out of fresh water this morning actually. And I think that the tank is burping the water out as we drive along, so more research shall go into this. You see, the tank is completely empty, pretty much, and it's burping water out. So that's not supposed to happen.
Well, one of the stinkier dump stations we've been to in a while, but it's to be expected with the volume, of people dumping here in the morning. Now, we're going to Jasper. This is supposed to be like the most beautiful drive, the Icefields Parkway, I believe it is called. The weather, hopefully it'll improve. You never know. Enjoy the ride. It's supposed to be one of the most scenic drives in Canada. I guess we have to re-enter the national park here, but we paid for 48 hours, so we should be good. And we are. What have we got here? Check it out! A black bear. Our first Canadian bear. Well, that was super cool. I think we're getting to the good part. Let's check out Crowfoot Glacier. There's a pullout here on the left. Yet another big chunk of ice. As we get closer, we can distinguish all the layers on the ice. It is fascinating.
It's incredible, the amount of ice, the thickness of it that remains on the mountain. I feel like it's gonna fall off any time, but I guess it doesn't. Well, so far, the Icefields Parkway, it's living up to its reputation.
Here's another view of Bow Lake, but parking is very limited.
Yeah, this is when a camper van would come in handy.
This is so beautiful. I'm really glad we added this to our Alaska itinerary. Let's stop here to get a view of Waterfowl Lakes. After crossing the Saskatchewan River, we encounter our first services along the way, so we're gonna stop and we're gonna have a quick breakfast.
Breakfast time, and let's get a taste of our first Canadian bacon. Well, it's regular bacon, but made in Canada.
We got some Canadian eggs too. Salt, black pepper, cayenne pepper, we've got ourselves a French omelette with cheese. What an exceptional landscape here with all these mountains. Let's stop real quick to admire the views. I believe these are called Panther Falls. Our next stop, the Columbia Icefield. Let's park and admire the glacier for a few minutes. This glacier, like many other, you can walk on it and they even have tours, but that was never in the scope of this trip. At this point, we're really anxious to get to Dawson Creek to do the Alaska Highway, but there will definitely have to be another more in-depth trip to the Canadian Rockies. And Jasper, which is coming up next. That's very nice that they have ample RV parking. Here's another attraction. This one is called Glacier Skywalk, soaring 280 meters or 918 feet above Sonwapta Valley. Our next stop, Athabasca Falls. It is supposed to be one of the most breathtaking and powerful falls in the Canadian Rockies. It seems to be very popular.
Oh yeah, there's always one. In any case, there Athabasca Falls they're supposed to be the most powerful and breathtaking, impressive falls. One of the most in the whole Canadian Rockies. So should be a short walk. Let's see where it is. It is quite impressive. Let's see if there's another viewpoint that way. impressive. Well, Athabasca Falls did not disappoint. Now we continue going north.
We continue straddling the Athabasca River on our way to Jasper. Here we are, Jasper, the northern terminus of the Icefields Parkway, which, in the original plan, the idea was to spend a lot more time here. Apparently, there are lots of things to do, including an aerial tram, but we want to be in Fairbanks for the summer solstice, so we must go on. It is certainly a good-looking town. Here we have this steam locomotive. I love the fact that they have all this parking here on the right-hand side, and pretty RV friendly too if you can find enough room. And that was Jasper in a nutshell. Now going north on the Yellowhead Highway. And these mountains, they look kind of different. It is true what they said. I think this is even more beautiful than Banff. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more beautiful, it is the gift that keeps on giving. This has got to be one of the most beautiful drives we've ever experienced. And that's it for the pretty drive. Eventually, we arrive in Hinton. We resupply and take the scenic route to Alaska, Alberta Provincial Highway 40. It is once again getting a little smoky. I think we got really lucky in Banff and Jasper with the clear skies. It is looking like the Smoky Mountains out here. We're arriving at the hamlet of Grand Cache, and there's a campground here, but I think I found a boondocking spot just a couple of kilometers down the road, so I think that's what we're gonna call it. It is a very pretty area. Different from where we were earlier for sure. This feels like a much older mountain range. I see a huge fifth wheel going in. That must be one of the camping areas. This one is too wooded though. We're looking for a place where we can use Starlink to work in the morning. Here we go. I mean, this one is pretty wooded too, but I think we can find a spot with a clear view of the northern sky. Yeah, this will work. Wow, look at that. It is beautiful out here, by the shores of the Smoky River. There's that other camping area by the river, but I think we like it where we are. It is very quiet, and we're almost all by ourselves. There's only one other camper, and we try to park as far away as possible. It is time for another RV cooking show. Today we're making chicken a la butter, a recipe I copied and modified from Cuban YouTuber Cocina con Fujita. It is now one of our favorite low-carb recipes. We begin by browning some chicken thighs, skin down, and some boneless breast as well. Yeah, it almost doesn't fit in our travel skillet here. We do have a larger one at home. We're going to season it with some camp mix, black pepper, and a little cayenne pepper as well. Might as well turn on the light, right? I'm going to turn the breasts, but let the thighs brown a little more. Oh, that's beautiful. A little salt on the skin side, and paprika, why not? Vino Seco dry cooking wine, and we'll let it boil. Although RV ranges don't quite heat up as much as domestic ones. Garlic powder, and the original recipe calls for whole small onions, but we're gonna use frozen ones because that's all we have. Anyway, this is a great departure from Fujita's recipe, but we like changing things around, like adding mushrooms, for example, and extra spices. We're going to cover it and let it boil for a good 40 to 45 minutes. And that's all there is to it.
Well, this looks really good. Cheers. Whew, so much pollen and... Anyway, I found this place on freecampsites.net, and there was like a camping symbol on Google as well. It's just a couple of miles north of Grand Cache, I believe is the name of the town. And well, I flew the drone earlier, and I saw that there's like a small river on that side. So those campsites on the other side of the road might have been better, but I mean, this is not bad. This is gonna be quiet. The only problem, it's besides the bugs, it is a little warm, but it's gonna cool down to like the 40s this evening, so it's gonna be fine. We just have to endure a couple hours, you know. As soon as the sun sets, it's gonna start cooling down. I don't know if you can see all the pollen, but in any case, let's walk all the way to the main road here. And they have a sign here, and let me show you. This is boondocking, and this says user maintained area, maximum stay 14 days. So I suppose this would be equivalent to our BLM land in the USA. You know, pack it in, pack it out. It's completely natural. And yeah, this is a Highway 40 here, which goes, tomorrow we're gonna go all the way to Dawson Creek, which is the beginning of the Alaska Highway. But I mean, it's cooler out here than inside the trailer right now. The sun is coming down, and by the way, that buttery chicken, that came out so great. Oh man, we were really hungry too, so but yeah, this is the main road here, and as you can, I don't know if you can see them, but there's some other campers down there. That's that other side that is close to the river, and we have the river right here. Let me tell you, it is so great to be here, finally, on our way to Alaska. Ooh, I'm losing my voice. In any case, we're gonna get some work done, and we'll continue the journey tomorrow.
Yes, this is where I filmed the current intro.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
Let's take a break and have lunch at the Canadian Brew House. poutine and a steak.
That was good. I thought it was gonna be like a steak sandwich, but it was just like an open-faced steak sandwich, but still. Now we're gonna have some coffee, and it's about another hour and a half or so to Dawson Creek, the beginning of the Alaska Highway. Cheers.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, and 'cause I'm free.
You can really smell the smoke out here. Very smoky. We have 3 out of control fires next to us, but the reason I came here because they have a giant beaver. It's one of those things.
In my RV, yeah, I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, because I'm free in my RV, yeah, riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. 'Cause I'm free in my RV, riding.
Dawson Creek is the beginning of the Alcan. So tomorrow we're going to explore a little bit and then get underway. But that will be a whole other movie. As always, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road.
I'm riding in my RV,